How you doing, BS Discover? Hey, I hope you got your journal together. This is Failure Gone Fast on Broken Promises and Relationships. The first relationship I'm going to gear into today is pretty much the one being alone, being single by yourself. Um, I want to dedicate this to some people, family, friends who made it to stardom, but they left a message, and the message that they left is quite apparent, especially today. The message was no matter what you go through, there's always going to be crabs. Crabs are people who are going to try to pull you down by either a negative form because they know no other way. And their goal is to make you look like you're not worthy of the travel, the journey you're about to take, the journey you have taken, the journey you have mastered from. And they see it and they're going to try everything to keep you down because it's going to make them get in a position, but not the position that you are in. Like I say, they are stars to this day. And they're looking back at me, and I enjoy it because they get to see what they told me. If I have any obstacles that come my way, they'd be like, "Oh, I told you so." And with that, let's start with our journey. Um, I had somebody who gave me some papers. I was going to buy some loose sleep. I won't lie about it. Um, I guess the schools were giving out free paper or something like that, so they went out and got free paper, all for money, but they didn't want the money. But I ended up giving them money anyways. Um, and a book. The extra book is the extra book that I have, but also what I want to teach you is to think. And when I write in my journal, I write it so I can understand it. In other words, I may write something down and you may determine it to be meaning one thing, but I know what it means to me. And you get to pass this on the word of mouth to whoever you're going to hand the journal down to, whether it's your children or a friend. Let them get used to your phrases. Don't tell everybody the phrase that you use. And when you're writing your journal, when they see that phrase, they will understand what it means. Um, as I look into my journal, I told you we will begin to write how I survived. It's the first thing, and it would often be the last. But if you juggle how you survive, you will know how you want to survive at the end of the day. That's your goal. When you get up in the morning, at the end of the day, what is my relationship? Whether I have a relationship with myself and building myself so I can build my wealth, I can build the things that I want to build in a new relationship if you decide to have a new relationship. Or if you're in a relationship, what are the things that we are building? How did we survive? How did we make it through yesterday? And to give you my first example to that question was I was able to keep silent, to rethink my actions before I release my personal feelings. Now, you know when people be like, oh, you're in your feelings. So, in order for you to train and know that I'm not in my feelings, because you may think I'm in my feelings, but I'm not. My actions may, or my behavior at the time may seem to be uh, justifying what you said. However, it isn't. It's just a repeated or repetitive thing that I do whenever I decide to make a move on how I want to handle the situation. And they think, oh, you're in your feelings, just like I may not talk to anybody. Oh, you don't want to talk to anybody. You're in your feelings. What's going on? Come on, talk. Don't be like that. And it's not that you're feeling that way. It's that sometimes it's best just to sit, allow the day to go through. Because when the day go through, you don't know what's going to come by your way. You don't know who's going to offer this or what letter you're going to get in the mail or what phone call you're going to receive or what message you're going to receive that will allow you to further be able to accomplish the goal that you want to accomplish. Now, in that, I will say that we often find ourselves trying to please others as we're trying to go through what we have to go through to survive. Now, in saying that, let me not lose where I want to take you. Like I said, it was best for me to what? To keep silent. They're going to try to get you to talk. But if I keep silent, I'm able to check my email, I'm able to pick up the phone, I'm able to either not just do that, but maybe read something that will empower me to get to where I need to go. And that's some type of tool, some type of self help quality book that will allow you to learn what you need as tools to survive. Because I can have word of mouth, that's okay. But these are proven factors. The people who've written books, who have not also proclaimed changes in their life, but in others. And when I'm quiet, I'm able to adjust to just me without putting someone else in the situation, but finding answers. So when I do open up, I have what I need to address. I have an answer for it because I was able to complete how I wanted to survive the day, not relying on another individual. Because I can receive any information, whether you get it from if you go to therapy or are you getting it from if you go to school, you know what I'm saying, and you're getting some related message, you're still going to have to learn how to use the message that you receive. Some people don't use it. Sometimes the message you do receive is not for you, it's for somebody else in the class because you already know. The same as when you go to therapy, I already know this. And it may not be for you, but it's probably for you to pass on down to someone else. But you won't know unless you do your self assessment. And you do that by spending your time to yourself or as a couple sitting down and discussing what is best for the relationship at this time. For you're going to fast, what did we do last time? At this time, how did we survive? Well, me and you sat down. Let's illustrate how did we survive. And we discussed the situation and we knew how we wanted it to turn out to be. That would be your answer. We discussed the situation and we knew how we wanted to turn out to be. And you made sure at the end of the day, if you wanted to go to the movies, you went to the movies. If she wanted to cook and you wanted to clean, that happened. You're both contributing to the relationship. It doesn't take money all the time to contribute to the relationship. It's just the simple things in life that you build off of as things grow into your relationship and you learn to utilize those things that grow into the relationship. Now, what was the obstacles that I saw? Well, the obstacles that I saw that were in the way was first, I purchased a ticket to ride a bus. However, I received just a receipt. I didn't get the bus ticket. but I got the receipt that shows that I purchased it. So the only thing I received and my goal was to see if I can ride the bus without the ticket. That was the obstacle that I saw. That's what I was going through. So I didn't argue about it. I didn't scream about it. Something told me just be quiet. I kept very quiet about the situation. But I shared the experience the next day. But that particular day, I was quiet about it. I said nothing about it. And I waited, and I knew I needed this ticket to ride the bus the next day. But guess what? It was a Sunday, and then, or a Saturday, and what happened, they closed at a certain time. So I was able to address the situation at the window, with an individual to receive a ticket for the receipt that I had, that the machine itself that I purchased it from only gave me the receipt, but not what? The ticket to ride the bus. That was the obstacle. Now, the last question was, what chances do I have to survive? Wow. Well, the chances to survive is explaining my situation to the supervisor. And this is how I knew the next day how I would handle the matter. I'm answering everything before the next day. Do you understand? Before I get to the situation. That's where I'm preparing myself. And you want to prepare yourself. Well, how did we want to go to the movies and he wanted to make dinner? What was the chances that we would survive? Well, we would sit down and we would discuss how much money we had. And I would discuss what I would cook for dinner or what time dinner will be served so it doesn't be in the way of the hour that we wanted to go to the movie. Now, what are the chances of survival? Well, at the end of the day, we put 100% in if we survive. And that usually be the next day. So at the beginning, I'll put 30% because at least you made an initiative. Remember 30%? 10, 20, you're just laying there, you're not trying to do it. So 30%. Then 70% me, I actually accomplished something. I got close to where I wanted to be. And that's what you want to do. You want to get close to where you wanted to be. You got close, you sat down and you did something to help what? Broken promises. We're going to make sure we make it to the movies. We're going to make sure what dinner is served and things are fine. So when we get to continue on to our day, we're able to. So I'm at 70% right now. And I come back to 100% if it happened at the end of the day. You go to the movies, you come back home, quickly put in your book 100%. That was done. How you survive, you can finish that at the end of the day. I survived. We survived by what? We survived by sitting down, making sure that we looked and we made provisions. We said what we was going to do. That's how we survived. How did you survive? We first have to make the choice. What we going to do? We're going to sit down and we're going to discuss this. That's how we survived. How did I survive? I begin to be still without making rational thoughts, irrational thoughts, because I want to be more rational, but I won't make rational thoughts too quickly, where irrational thoughts may start to creep in. So I want to think rationally. So what I did, the most rational thing you can do is to work to keep still and wait on the matter. And that's what I did. I was able to keep silent and to rethink about my actions, which was not being irrational. and release personal feelings. That's a growth step. In a relationship, it's a growth step. You was able to sit down. You're gonna decide how you're gonna handle the matter. That's when you say how I survived. Well, how did I handle the matter? I survived by being quiet. Quickly, I just was quiet. Quickly, we just sat down and discussed. Then, when it said, what chances do I have to survive? The chances to survive was sitting down when we explained to each other what we was going to do to survive. My chances was to what? I would have to see the supervisor the next day, which I did. And all the supervisor told me was to do was to show the ticket. Not the bus ticket, but the receipt ticket that I received. Remember the thinking? I want you to get into thinking. So I'm gonna throw things at you, but I want you to be quick to think because you're gonna have people throw things at you to throw you off. I know you looked and you saw it that threw you off. You wasn't paying attention to it. That I'm talking about. To be focused, to be 100% reliable on knowing I'm still. Because that's going to be your defense mechanism to get into where you need to be to achieve. Now, what I did today, next day I had another situation. And in the next situation, I wrote the next day. Now, let's say we just started. So a couple of days going to go by, but you're dealing with the same situation. So, okay, I handled the next situation, how I survived. And I believe what the obstacle was having to, let me see, having income was the obstacle that is to strategize to make sure that I better my income. So that was the obstacle that I saw. I need to make sure I strategize to better, make sure I have better, stronger income. And how did I survive? I survived by allowing myself not to stress out over unseen matters. I didn't get upset about it. I made the sacrifice to make sure that I understand the things that are unseen to me. Because if I don't understand, but if I begin to understand, okay, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And that puts you at a better perspective of controlling your feelings. And then I approach the situation by contacting the uniform or individual I wanted to contact to make the situation even better. I at least made contact. What was the obstacle? The obstacle was making sure that I better my income and strategizing and bettering my income. Husbands and wives, you're going through the thing. You got a job, he got a job, he wants to better himself on his job. How did he survive? He didn't stress over the situation. He came home what? It's unseen whether he's going to survive. Y'all talked about it. How many times you come home, talk to your husband and your wife, girlfriend or boyfriend about where you want to be, and they just sit and listen without giving you negative feedback. That's how I survived. What was the obstacle? The obstacle was having to find ways to strategize to make a better income. That's the obstacle. I have to find ways at the job. What can I do? Strategize to making better income. You don't know. You don't know what the boss wants. You don't know what the boss is asking for. So that is the obstacle. Because the boss will tap you on the shoulder and say, you know what? I seen you doing this lately, and I'm going to give you a chance to get in another position. You won't know that, but you know it because you are driven to go to work every day and you do the pluses that it takes to get in that position. You know what they're looking for. You know there's a position open. You know what you need to do. You carry yourself in the matter that you're in that position. I'm gonna go to work every day. I can't miss work. I gotta finish what I'm doing. If I can finish it 10 minutes ahead of time, I've done it. Then I can go help somebody else. That's a productive employee. I got a better chance of getting the position. My wife is not stressing me out when I come home. My girlfriend is not stressing me out while I'm out with the boys or doing that. Those are things you're gonna do when you're moving up. You're gonna party with her and you're gonna party with them. It takes a whole trust in this in my failure going fast on broken promises. You're gonna have to learn trust no matter what it is. If you learn untrust later, who's worried about that? You know what you have to do, but it's all about trust because I'm not feeling stressed out over somebody else. I'm not going to do it. Now, what are the chances of surviving? My chances of surviving was 30 to 70, and now I could put 100. I got 30, 50, and I got 70 because at that time I did not know. See the 70? I did not know whether I can carry through. And the journal isn't that long. It's just short detail journal. And then at 15, something happened. But I was going through the same thing on the 16th. So from the 16th to the 20th, I wrote down, and as you can see, the completion, the whole page is writable. The whole page, not half the page, the whole page. I got the whole page. There's more detail from the 16th to the 20th. And that was making sure, how did I survive? I was focused on the reality of what the things I had to go through. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how I'm really going to survive. But the best way for me to survive is to stay focused. If I'm focused and I allow myself to keep watching out for the things that I see, like you begin to see you're making changes and people start following you and people going to try to vibe off of what you're doing. And this is what this is about because it's one thing I told you in the beginning, you were learning about crabs. People try to follow you to make you look some type of way and to make it seem like you don't know what you're doing, actually. You know what you're doing. Every walk is different. They don't know what they're doing because if they knew what they were doing, they wouldn't need you to get there. So you be an honor to know it took you for them to get there. And that's what keeps you going. I must be that important, so let me keep going. If I got eyes on me like that. And that's what keeps you going. And that's what I begin to write down. How did I survive? Knowing that people will be crabs in watching you and what you do. And that's only trying to deter you. Because if I could deter you, I could make you feel a certain way, like you're not going to get where you're going to get, then you will never get there because you want to stop trying. Quickly, failure going fast and broken promises. You're not broken promise. Looking at other people looking at you. Eventually, something going to follow. The ball's going to drop. And eventually, trust me, you will get where you got to go. You just can't give up. Those are the distractions. And I got that from the 16th to every day. I seen these. You sit, they're watching you. They got their phone on you. They're talking to distract you. They're doing everything to distract you, making you feel like you're meaningless. but you are everything. Everything that you accomplish, every little thing that you accomplish is everything. So, how did I survive? Well, I was still focused on the reality, even though I saw others trying to denounce what I was contributing to my audience by watching everything or watching me. And I continue to go out through the day, this, the same day, not afraid of what you may hear or see of me, because you will learn about crabs, people trying you on the come up. And that's all it is. They're trying you on your come up. They're trying to break you down, not let you come up. I have other streams. I got people watching that I haven't been on, thinking they holding me back. I know I can get on the stream, but it's how I come back that's going to always keep my audience coming back. Because your audience know what you're going through. And they know by you being true to you, being true to the relationship, being true to what you're trying to build, if you want a future relationship, the audience is always going to be there. What did I see was the obstacle? I saw others, other women that was jealous of me because of you and what they thought that they knew about me or of me. Or why are you looking for my failures to me coming up? Why they looking for your failures? They looking to show your failures. Because if I can show her failures, then but everybody have failure. They have a failure. The failure is you cannot even come up on your own. You have to address somebody else's situation. So that person must be valuable in everyone's eyes. Because if you didn't have that person, you had somebody simple, they wouldn't take the time. That's how you know you are valuable. It allowed me to see what my family and friends who are in the starlight experience, and they warn me of the obstacles that will be there. But am I willing to not give up to the crabs? What chances do I have to survive? 30, 70, and 100. I put 100 because I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. They'd rather see me out there, broken, confused, but I'm here. I'm giving you what I was given to survive and learning the measures. Because sometimes when we're chosen, we go through things, and what we learn, we're able to put it in a format. Just 3 simple questions. That's not a whole lot for you to sit down for 10 to 15 minutes, even 5 minutes within a day. And like I said, you can add, if you're going through the same situation, if you got to pay your rent on Monday, and don't write every day, I got to pay my rent. No, you write it, and then when you finalize it and you pay it, you make sure you write on that day, well, from the 1st to the 30th. If it took you that long, the 1st to the 20th, you put like I put 70, and then you come back. You show I had the 70. Then you come back and you put that 100 next to it. And make sure you write that. What chances do I have to survive? 30, 70, and you have that 100, and then you have that line there. going to have that line there, and you're going to come back, and then you're going to write 70. You see the lines? 30, 50, 70. Then you put another line. Then you write 100. Well, I'm at 70%. I'm almost there. I'm thinking about it. I'm contemplating on saving money. If the situation is different, whatever it is, whether you got to move, whatever it is, we all go through situations. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. You're no good. We're going through it. We all going through. From the presidency on down, we all going through. And you're no different. This is like a chain of command. And if the chain of commanding got issues, then you know you got issues. But we all can't survive. That's what you want to do. So failure going fast. I hope you enjoy this. I hope you're learning how to utilize your journal. And I'm going to speak on it next time. And next time I'm going to have something different that you can add that would allow you to get further. Now we're going to do the journal for like maybe a month, and I'm going to give you different experiences because some of your experiences could be the same, but how to write it, to indicate so that you understand what it is to write in your journal, read your journal, and learn from your journal. Until next time, BS.